Larry, can you just walk us through your involvement when they reached out, kind of what went into your decision to coming and all of the planning that goes with it?
Yeah, I was completely caught off guard. I wouldn't imagine this in my wildest dreams. And so when I got a chance to meet with Chancellor Gable, I was in their office at the Cathedral of Learning, and she asked me for a little time. I had no idea what the conversation was going to be, and she told me that literally my jaw dropped. And it's one of the greatest honors you can ever have, and to be trusted with talking to the students. Over 3,000 kids are going to be here graduating today, and to know that these are going to be leaders of our country for years to come. It's the ultimate honor to be able to be here and participate in this.
And then when you stepped away from football, there's no fanfare, no big ceremony, stuff like that. What has it been like for you transitioning from the end of your career to what the life's been like for you afterwards?
Great. Everything's going. I wouldn't say exactly according to plan, but it's going well. Football is a great time of my life. I look back on it fondly. Great memories, wonderful relationships developed. But it's just a few chapters of your life in the grand scheme of things. And so I was willing to go out quietly. The game is much bigger than any one individual person, and that's kind of the approach I've always taken.
And have you enjoyed this extra time with the family, with the kids and all that?
It's great. I don't spend as much time as I should. I still got a lot of things going on, but having my son Devin here, my oldest, it's great to see him come out and be a part of this, and be able to just pour into your kids like any parent would. It's great. But I'm still pretty busy, probably busier than I was when I played, but trying to find that right balance.
What does it mean to be back at Pitt?
I'm here often. I'm on the board of Dick's Sporting Goods, headquartered out in Coraopolis, so I'm here at least 5 times a year. And then I get back for a few Pitt obligations and events a year, so I'm here quite frequently, and it's always great to come back. As soon as I always drive through Fort Pitt Tunnel, it brings back so many great memories as I look over the landscape and think about the nightstand over at the Renaissance Hotel, and obviously at Heinz Field, and I look in the distance and I can see the Cathedral of Learning, and I look down the river and I can see the Hot Meadow Bridge, and all of these memories just kind of flood back to your mind about experiences that you had and relationships you developed throughout the time. So I'm here quite a bit, and I hope to continue to come back.
What are some of the key points today that you want to pass along to the graduates today?
I think some of the big ones are adaptability. The world is ever changing. It's constantly evolving, and what you graduate from today might not be relevant in 10 years. And to have the ability and the fortitude and the wherewithal to be able to adjust on the fly and be able to do it gracefully, I think it's something that you really need to work at. Also, just continue to lean into relationships. You look at everybody in life. Nobody accomplishes any one thing by themselves. So, continue to nurture people around you and allow people to nurture you.
How did your experiences at Pitt kind of form those ideas that you wanted to talk about today?
I think they definitely helped me form my identity and who I was and the kind of person I wanted to be and aspired to be. I had great examples, guys like Chris Wilson and Lusaka Polite and Penny Samai, Yogi Roth, and so many guys who were great veteran leaders for me. And so all I had to do was look up to them and follow their lead, and that was great. And so I learned a lot from those players. I learned a lot from the administration. I got a chance to have lunch yesterday with Chancellor Nordenberg and Donna Samp, and a lot of people who really poured into me in my maturation process. And so it's I for sure wouldn't be standing here with you if I went to any other school. The way I was cared for, the way I was loved on, the way I was supported here was really unique.
And then how are you happy to see with things changing so much in college athletics, Pitt continue to succeed and keep the program where it needs to be?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to July, when the House finally kind of put some guardrails on it, so we actually know exactly what you can and you can't do, and there's a level playing ground, and then when everybody kind of gets their footing and understands what needs to happen. University of Pittsburgh has been competitive since day one. You look at our history, you look at the players that have come through here, you look at the representation in the National Football League, it stood the test of time, and I have a strong belief that this university is always going to do what's required to be relevant, but not just on the athletic field, but we're going to continue to be dominant in research. We're going to continue to be dominant in this community and uplifting the people around us, and that's one of the things I'm most proud about, is that we're great in a lot of different regards.
What's your relationship like with Coach Narduzzi and how he's led this program over the past 10 years?
I love Deuce. I love him. We talk, at least once a month. I really appreciate the direction he's taking the program in. Just a really tough group of guys. They compete, they fight. He stands for the right things, and I'm always pulling for him and try to be a resource any way possible. I got a chance to spend some time with 5 young men that play on the football team that are graduating today. So obviously they're getting great experience being ACC football players, but they're also graduating, which means the world to me as an alum.
What was that experience like, getting to spend time with the specific graduates today?
It makes you really proud, because these young men came here just like I did and have great hopes and desires, but obviously you were a student athlete and they fulfilled their obligations as students and as athletes. So you look back on their tenure here and they can be very proud for what they accomplished.
You look forward to that call from Canton one day to go to the Pro Football Hall of Fame? Has that ever crossed your mind since you've been out?
I try not to think too much about it. It's a very subjective process. How they come to the decision, who gets in, who doesn't, it's above my pay grade. I feel like I've done all I can do to put myself in a position, and it's up to other people to kind of make that call. But if they do, I'll answer, and I'll be very happy.
Obviously, your son's here today. What's it going to mean in a few years when you see him walk across that stage and graduate? It's every parent's dream to kind of see your children, fulfill their potential. I'm proud of him for everything he's accomplished. He's only 17 years old, but everything I've asked of him, everything his mother's asked of him, he's done to the best of his ability. Is he where he wants to be and where he needs to be? No, but none of us are. And the thing I'm most proud about is that he's still open and willing to listen to people's advice and put himself in uncomfortable positions, and that's something I'm really proud about. And so when that day comes, I'm gonna be elated to watch him walk across the stage.